So last year, I had my students write survival fiction based on Minecraft in order to help them better understand how to tell an effective story. It worked really well, and I want to try it again. But because I have essentially the same students in just a different grade, I didn't want to rely on the exact same format. So I asked the students today what kind of story they wanted. They said they wanted something along the lines of horror. So I've taken some inspiration from a few different stories, and I've used some textures as well to kind of customize the world a little bit. Um, but I wanted to point out to you a few features. I should note too that this is in Minecraft EDU, the version of Minecraft for education that predates the official Minecraft in education. So I'm going to go ahead and click multiplayer and join the server. And right away you'll notice that there's a difference here. I've customized a few of the textures, and I've tried to create textures that would actually align to roles that I'm going to allow students to play, and they're allowed to choose a different role every day. And that role they choose is going to dictate what kind of writing they do. So if they choose to be the journalist, they have to write about the events in a newspaper form, in the form of a news article. If they choose the writer, they're going to have to look at the conventions of horror. How does the world they're inhabiting follow the conventions of the horror genre? If they choose detective, they're going to write evidence about the story. What snippets of information have they found? What pieces help them understand this world? And so they're looking for, they're really using their observation skills and their inferencing skills to try and figure out what these things might mean. And finally, a very different one, architect. So I decided to let them actually map out the world a little bit. So that could be one of the options on a given day. So they'd actually say draw out the map from a top-down perspective to get a better understanding of what's going on. This will be particularly useful when we get into some of the crazier levels that we'll design a little bit later. I'm also thinking of adding just a hero or protagonist version as well, so that they could write from a first-person perspective. So I'm going to choose one of these characters. I'm going to choose the detective, and I'll connect. And you can see that if I switch to a different view, there's the detective. And I didn't make these textures. I found them online through Novaskin, but they meet the needs now of what I have for this activity. So essentially what students will do is they will, they're in this kind of long tunnel, which doesn't look great, but it's just designed to get them to this simple build. So I guess it's more of a trench than a tunnel. This is a custom horror pack that I found online. I've added and changed a few things, but basically once students are inside, they'll have the house to explore. They'll realize that they can't go up all the way to the stairs. They'll also discover that there are note blocks everywhere telling snippets of the story. I'm getting inspiration for a few different things here, including Cabin in the Woods, but also the fall of the House of Usher. And so this is actually taken directly from the story with some changes to the text itself. Thank goodness for public domain works. So students can explore and see what's in the different rooms. They will find photos. They will find some paintings I've added. I've tried to add paintings that would actually just indicate the mood a little bit. So I think that will be particularly useful for when students choose to look at the nature of horror as the convention of it and what sort of things horror tends to do. So if we can actually get in here, you can see I'm trying to choose paintings that create a certain mood in the house. Now, this is going to be kind of episodic, so we'll play a little bit every day, and the students will eventually, hopefully, find clues that will lead to each level, so that way I can build the levels as I go. Here, if students, someone actually discovers this is actually a button, and they hit the button, they'll discover that it actually pulls this out over here, which, if they're able to click way back in the corner, past the cobwebs, they'll find the Master of Horror hides the way. And if they keep exploring and looking at all the snippets of text in all the different rooms, they'll find that this, Edgar Allan Poe, is a Master of Horror, and that behind here is actually a secret passage. And then they'll be into the next level, And then from there, I will try and lead them each day through a new process, a new part of this experience. So there you have it. A quick introduction to the experience I'm going to try to create for my students that will allow them to write meaningfully about the horror genre.